guys? Welcome back to episode 42 of Candid Cloud Convos.
You already know who it is. And if you don't know, it's Gina and Emelita. As always, you're beautiful, wonderful, talented, smart, intelligent.
Singer, songwriter, actor, actress.
We're just pitching ourselves to you guys right now.
Yeah.
But you know, it's your favorite podcast, your favorite host, back at it again this week.
And it sounded like you said your favorite host.
Your favorite host. We're in the house. There's some hoes in this house.
I seen a video, this is hecka random, but there's a video where a teacher, if you walked in late to his class, he would make you stand at the front of the class and sing a song. And so the girl walks in late, so she goes to the front and she's like, oh my God, what song was it? Oh, I don't remember the song anymore. But it was something like, think of it as one of the songs is like my neck, my back. No. It wasn't, I know it wasn't that one, but it's a song pretty much within those lines.
She's all that one song, Once Upon a Time Not Long Ago.
It was that one. It was that one. It was that one. I swear on everything. It was that one.
I've never seen the video that you're talking about. I just thought of it off the top of my head.
That's the one. Because she goes, mo money.
Powerful, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Because that's the exact. I knew that as soon as I heard it, I was gonna remember it, but it wouldn't have came to me. So thank you so much. Yeah. And someone in the comments was like, you know that now he's never gonna make people do that again.
Yeah, he's like,
he goes, oh, that backfired.
Nursery rhyme. You can sing a nursery rhyme.
Yeah. So we have exciting news for our Chisme chatter.
So exciting. We have to think of a new word other than exciting. Amusing.
We got to get a thesaurus and start looking at synonyms.
Right. Because it's not going to get old and it's not going to stop anytime soon. But we have new listeners in a new country again this week.
Where they at?
Huh?
Where they at?
Where they at though? We actually had to look it up, you guys. We're so sorry. I had to look it up. I had no idea where this was, but we do have new listeners in Botswana, and hopefully I pronounced that correctly. I'm so sorry if not. But it is a South African country. It's kind of near Lesotho,
which we also have listeners in. Mm-hmm. So y'all are maybe neighbors or something.
Oh my God, they told their cousins,
told their friends. You know, it may not look like it views wise, but we got a lot of listeners in a lot of different countries.
We do 25 now.
Yeah, that's crazy. So
exciting.
Thank you guys for coming, and we hope you enjoy our podcast.
We love you guys already. And then just getting into some more chisme chatter. I want to kind of just get this one out of the way because it's a very sad one. And then we'll come back. Y'all know we bring it back, okay? Yeah. But there was unfortunately an incident that happened, and apparently this was not the first one, but I didn't hear about the first one that happened. But apparently something happened in June where these monkeys, a group of monkeys, pretty much got out, and I don't know if they were already wild monkeys or if they were in captivity and then escaped or something, but in India, there was a family that was relaxing at their home, just kind of hanging out, and they had a 4-month-old baby, a baby boy. And apparently the gang of monkeys were like on top of their roof, and the child's father attempted to scare the monkeys away. However, it kind of just made things worse, and the monkeys started like surrounding them and kind of taunting them and stuff like that. So the dad tried to escape with the baby, and the baby fell. And when the baby fell, like it says on the thing, like slipped from his arms.
Oh my God.
When the baby fell, the parents lunged to go get the baby, obviously, and pick him up. But by that time that they did it, the monkey had already grabbed the baby. And unfortunately, the monkey pretty much just he threw the baby off the building, and the baby did pass away instantly.
I mean
I just thought it was crazy because I would never imagine sitting there in your living room and then like like that's so like what?
Like as much as they're cool, they're freaking crazy. Like you know how in some places they have those places you can walk through, and the monkeys, you're in their home, so they're out about. You can
taking pictures and stuff like on your shoulder. Yeah,
they could easily Planet of the Apes, easily, and
bite your ear off.
Yeah,
I've
like
seen videos and I've heard stories of people in like other countries when they go on vacation and they go through that little thing like you're talking, how they have like excursions and stuff. And someone got bit on the ear and they had to go to the hospital to get like whatever shot you're supposed to get with, you know, certain animals because that's not normal.
And that's messed up because they were in their home. They weren't even out doing the things that they weren't like, you know, that would have put them at risk. They were in their home.
Yeah, this was the second one. There's just been a lot of monkey related deaths lately, apparently. Back in June, a group of monkeys in Tanzania snatched a 1-month-old baby from his mother while being breastfed, and the baby unfortunately died from injuries on the head and the neck after villagers took the baby back by force.
That's really sad.
So I don't know what's going on right now, but it's really sad and tragic. I don't even know.
Realistic version of Jumanji. If Jumanji was life, that's really what would be happening. You know, you get turned into a monkey, you would probably get killed by a monkey.
It's scary.
What do you do? What are you supposed to do?
Right. I don't know. That's why I put it in here because I was like, that's just so different from anything I would see, like anything we would see here in the US. Like we would never be like, oh yeah, there's so many monkey related deaths this summer. Like it's so random. I was like, what the hell? And then to see that there was another one just a few weeks before that. And why do they target babies?
Because they're weak. They're easy prey.
Like they know that?
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro.
Like their instincts, yeah.
Like, because, you know, they say that like tiger cubs and, you know, big cat cubs, they're the easiest prey when the mom goes out to hunt and the babies are left by themselves. A lot of the times they get eaten because they can't protect themselves yet.
Oh my God. That is terrifying.
Yeah. On the lookout. When you go to other countries and traveling, just keep that in mind that that's a possibility. That something we probably wouldn't have thought about, like you said, because we wouldn't, that wouldn't happen here. But if you're going out traveling, maybe keep that in mind.
Yeah. Watch out for the monkeys, guys.
But there's some really good news.
Okay. So there is, it's so cool. Like the coolest thing I've seen in a hot minute. Okay. There is a 13-year-old girl and her name is Alina Wicker. She already has 2 undergraduate degrees in biological sciences, and she has already been accepted to an Alabama medical school, and it made her the youngest Black student ever to be accepted to a medical school.
Woo! That's exciting. That is so cool.
So cool. 13.
Imagine those parents, how proud they must be.
Dude.
I would never
put a picture of her here on the screen too. She's beautiful.
Oh my God.
Obviously talented, obviously intelligent as hell.
You know what I hope though?
What?
I hope that even with her being so young and getting into like medical school and being so intelligent, that she also has a childhood at that same, like gets to go through the same, you know, process of, you know, school or proms or dance, like things like that. So she doesn't feel like when she gets older that she missed her childhood because she was in college at 13 or medical school at 13, you know?
Yeah. She's going to be, she was accepted into the University of Alabama's Hearsink School of Medicine class of 2024.
Wow.
She's gonna
that girl's done more in her life. At 13
I'm like, damn. To know what, but
let me reflect.
What's crazy though too is that to know at such a young age this is exactly what I want to do, and like to be able to put in so much hard work to get to that point at that age and still be on that like straight path and not have distractions or like outside influences or changing your mind or anything. Like she knows exactly what she wants to do and she's doing it. Like that's so cool.
That is beyond me. Graduating high school, I was like, what am I doing? What is my life? I mean,
I'm still questioning what the hell I'm doing.
Really? So like that's literally insane to be at that place at 13 years old.
Yeah. So God bless her.
I wonder what her IQ is.
We could probably look it up.
I have
no idea, but hallelujah to her.
God bless. I hope that your journey is very, very exciting and prosperous.
if any of our listeners are, scholars like that and you want to make us be impressed or whatever, let us know your stories too. We want to celebrate you guys just
come on and like let us ask you questions or something.
I know we can interview them. That would be so cool.
Yeah. But
let us know, guys.
I'll hit us up. Candid Convos _podcast on Instagram.
Period.
So this next thing is kind of old. It's actually, they came out with this a month ago, but I don't know why I seen it, but I also didn't trip off it. I was like, oh damn, that's crazy. And then I was like, wait, why haven't we talked about it? Because we did a whole episode on it, and I think we did updates, later on throughout as we found more stuff out.
Yeah, we talked about it on our own. That's why.
Oh yeah, okay, that's probably why.
Yeah.
So a month ago they released Brian's journal, because when they had came out with the fact that he had, how would you say it? I'm not
unalived himself.
Thank you. He unalived himself. They said he had a journal and there was things in it that they weren't releasing yet. Well, they released it a month ago, and he wrote along the lines of, I'm just gonna paraphrase.
Yeah.
But he wrote along the lines of, she got really hurt and I was helping her, and she asked me to just put her out of her misery. And so I'm
like a mercy
as a hero, I put her out of her misery, and I did that, and I just couldn't live with myself being without her. So this is why I'm doing what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And whatever. So he pretty much
tried leave my family out of it.
Oh yeah.
Leave my parents out of it. Stop torturing them.
I mean, really? Like, so even with the cowardly thing that he did, he's still trying to make himself seem like he's the good guy in this.
Yeah.
After he's dead.
Do you want to hear my conspiracy theory?
Let's hear it.
I genuinely think that, because if we go back to when all of that happened, when they first found the backpack or whatever, the bag or whatever with the notebook, it was the parents who found it, right? And the whole thing had already been searched. Y'all know. I'm pretty fucking sure they wrote it. Why did he mention how many times leave my parents out of it? Stop, with the whatever.
Not to say that like he cannot have good handwriting, but if you're in a place like that, I would assume that you're not, you're not in the right headspace. Like you're just going, you're ready to let it out before you're going to do what you're going to do.
Exactly.
But his handwriting was very clean, very nice, to make sure that it would be legible for them to read, to then be found.
Right. And it was the pages weren't dirty, like, like he's in nature all the time. Yeah. How could it be that like clean? And like you said, the handwriting, why didn't they do like a handwriting analysis or have like a handwriting analyzer, look into if that was really his handwriting or not?
I don't even know if they did or didn't.
I doubt it.
But I was like, that's really,
if they wrote it, that's even worse.
The family of Gabby Petito, it's just a hit and a hit, like keep punches in the gut to them. I just feel bad for them, because I feel like it's always, every time something new gets released or comes out, it's nothing ever beneficial for them to get any kind of peace or justice for what happened to her.
Because at this point it's been about a year, almost.
I think close to.
Yeah, almost a year. And for them, I think at this point they just want to know what happened to her. What happened to her, and I feel like they deserve to know.
Yeah.
So the fact that even if that was him, and I don't think that happened. I don't think that.
Hell no. That is not.
So the fact that like you're already unalive, and that they had to deal with that being a part of everything else going on, then to like put out lies like that to make it seem like your hands are clean and that she took some fault in it because she asked him to do it. No, why didn't you call the police if she was hurt? Why didn't you try to get help? And then why did you still try to keep her alive or make it look like she was alive? Right.
She got hurt. Like,
no, but then after she passed, he continued to post on her Instagram as her and make it seem like she wasn't passed away. So why did you do that if it was innocent and she actually got hurt?
Any kind of sense?
No,
doesn't add up. That doesn't add up.
And then why'd you run away?
Take her car, still use her money.
Yeah.
I mean, like, get a lawyer if you felt that bad, but you didn't feel bad enough to get a lawyer.
Right.
So and hide out.
No, absolutely
not. You never once called the ambulance or 911.
Not even tried. I don't even care if the service or whatever was bad or whatever. No, I don't care. You didn't even try.
You could have drove to a place where there was service to then call.
And you knew what the call was. The investigator that was doing a lot of like the behind the scenes type of stuff when everything was happening, his name was also Brian. I don't remember his last name, but he said that because he went actually to where Gabby's body was found, and he like marked where the van was and then where her body was actually found, and it was less than a mile.
Wasn't it like 5 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't even that far. So if she was really hurt, she was very petite. You could have,
petite.
Right. Like you could have very made right. So sorry. I hate you. That was a good one.
I tried to keep it together after that.
I was gonna ignore it, and then I was like, can't. No, okay. But I feel like if the saying, if he wanted to, he would.
Yes, he would.
It applies.
Super off topic. Off topic. Quick thing. There was a podcast I seen where it's like 3 guys, 3 girls, and they're talking about that phrase. If he wanted to, he would. And they were saying, is that a toxic phrase, right? To say, oh, if he wanted to, he would. Because it's like, for a lot of the time, the girls, they're whatever it is that they want, if they don't say it, but they just expect the guy to read their mind. And it's like, okay, but you're not communicating. So it's like, it's toxic on your part for being like, if he wanted to, he would. But then the girls were like, that's part true, because we could be communicating better instead of just expecting him to do something. But then there's also the flip side of it, of basic things that if he did want to, he would. Like, one of the girls was like, well, one time she was with a guy and she told him, it makes me uncomfortable that you talk with other girls. Like, I want to be exclusive, and that he was like, oh, well, we didn't talk about that or something like that. Like, we didn't say we were exclusive, whatever, right? So both sides are legitimate because they didn't, they didn't.
Yeah, it was never announced or like.
Yeah, that they were just committed, like, wanted to each other. And so they're like, in that sense, you communicated it, but if he said, oh, well, we didn't talk about that. So if he wanted to be exclusive with you, he would. So in that sense, it does make sense. But then it made me think about that phrase more of, it could be both sides if you're not fully communicating with the person.
That's true. No, I think both people can take fault in it. But
I'm not talking about this specific case, like what you said.
No, of course not. No. Just in general. But I think for me, like, when I think of if he wanted to, he would, I think of effort. Like, if he wanted to see you, or vice versa, not just him, obviously the girl has to make effort too. It can't just be one-sided. But like, if they wanted to, they would, So like, if you wanted to see someone, you would make time for them. If you wanted to talk to them, check in with them, whatever, you would, because you're saying exactly. So I just think of it like effort, but communication has to definitely be there, because you can't get mad at someone if you never said
that something was bothering you
needed. Yeah. So that's you got to take fault in that too,
Yeah. Last question. This one's more, I seen another podcast talk about this, and I was like, oh, that's a really, really cool question. And it's the goose into our main segment.
Perfect.
What does healing look like for you?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. That's a hard question. Like, what do you mean?
It's kind of like when you say, okay, I want to heal. Like, there's a lot of things that I just need to work on myself. Like, what would that look like for you? For you, what is being healed, or the healing process? Like,
I think it's
for me.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna give you time in case, like.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, like, I think dealing with the things that you purposely don't deal with on a regular basis because you don't want to, or it makes you uncomfortable, or whatever. Like, they always, your comfort zone
it's gonna hold you back. Like,
hold you back. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think staying in that, you're never gonna get to that point of being healed if you're just the same person the entire time.
Right. Like,
and
no growth.
And I think being open-minded and being like open to other people's opinions and things like that, seeing different perspectives, like changing your mindset on how you feel about things, and just persevering. I don't know. That's what it looks like to me, I think.
No, yeah, I 100% agree. I was gonna say pretty much the same thing, and like, I also kind of learned that healing is also ugly. Like it looks ugly to me because you have to get through, and we, you know, and breaking through those bad habits before you can work on making the good habits, because it's so easy to us because it's like second nature at this point.
Default.
But like, yeah, exactly. So, you know, ugly at first, but then worth it obviously afterwards.
It can be a beautiful thing once you get through the ugly stuff.
You have to let it, yeah. And I think I seen this, or I heard this phrase a while back, and it was like, you have to go through hell to get past it. You know, like you got to get through the fire to get past it. If not, you're just gonna be stuck there.
Right.
You know, and I was like, wow, that's kind of, you know, yeah, like a good phrase. And it helped put me into perspective, but there was still, I wasn't ready at that time when I heard it to really
like have it stick
and like really understand it. But it still made me feel a type of way. I was like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. But at this point now, we're really consciously working on ourselves, and I think it's going through the ugly to get to the good, the beautiful.
And I think I obviously it depends on what you're feeling from, you know, but in just like basic ways, I don't think it's supposed to be easy. Because if it was easy, everyone would think the same. Everyone would, you know, like, I just think it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be cute. It's not supposed to be like a fun time, you know, because it's literally just undoing all the bad things or all the bad things you think of.
Yeah.
And
I think it's cool because it really makes you accountable for yourself. If there was ever everything you've been through and you've ever tried to kind of push it off to certain things, or, you know, at a point sometimes like you start to use that as an excuse, and not in like I'm not trying to say in a fucked up way, like I do it too, you know, but
it's not good.
It's not good. Like you use it as a crutch, and then it's like, oh, it's because of this. It's like, but at, you know, a certain point we're grown and we got to take accountability for, this happened, but now it's my responsibility to work through it.
Right.
And so then it makes it, once you work through it, I feel like it's going to be like, damn, I did that shit. No one else could have done that, but I did it. I stuck through it, and I did it for myself, you know?
Exactly. Because you have to think about it too. I had seen this quote that said, like, heal before having children. Otherwise, your children are going to have to heal from having you as a parent.
Oh.
And I was like,
that's
mic
real.
drop.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Like, it's so important right now. And I think that's why it's such a pressing issue, pressing activity. I don't know if healing's an activity necessarily, but a pressing time for us, because you know, we're almost to our mid-20s and we're trying to have the rest of our lives be the way that we want, in the mindset that we want, in the careers that we want, in the
like build the foundation right now.
Exactly. So it's like chipping away at the old like bricks that are no longer standing because of all the earthquakes and shit. And then just like rebuilding. But I think like you said, it's worth it. Huh?
I said, are we Gandhi over here?
We might be. We both have like, you know, similar vibes going on right now.
You guys, we got on this call and we got on the camera and we're like, oh, look at us, our bangs banging, and then you noticed our shirts, we both had suns on today, and we did not, I swear we didn't plan a thing. We didn't speak about how we were doing our hair or what we were wearing or nothing like that.
Right.
It so happened, and I feel like we're just synced up, you know?
Meant to be. We're just soulmates. That's all. That's all that it is to it. And if you guys don't believe in like best friend soulmates, you're wrong.
You haven't found the right best friend yet. Then.
Yeah.
Sorry to tell you.
But I feel like you don't have just one soulmate. Like your partner doesn't have to just be your soulmate, you know? Like I swear Rex is my soulmate all the time. Because I swear, like, even just when I met him, like it genuinely felt like my soul knew his soul. Like we knew who, like I felt comfortable immediately because I felt like he was familiar to me.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it.
It's weird, but like that's how I feel, you know?
Yeah. No, for real. He's literally the perfect match, like perfect fit.
Yeah, and like that doesn't just happen by chance, you know?
No, there's a lot of times when you have, it just doesn't work out, you know? Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, out of, you know, caring for that animal, like whatever pet it is, I'm actually just a dog, but like, if it's not a right fit for the dog either, like it's better to have them find a family or a home that they are going to work. It's going to work better for them too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Cause they won't feel Maybe do dogs have love languages too?
I really think they do.
I think so too.
Definitely. I think spirits, because we always say spirit is a cuddle bug and Sage is a love bug. Like spirit will cuddle with anybody. He loves to be cuddled. That I feel is 100% his love language.
His physical touch.
Loves to be,
his physical touch.
Yes, and Sage, she loves to give kisses. She loves to get kisses and be like
affectionate.
She is so affectionate. And for people who aren't used to it and don't really like it, it's hard because that's what she loves to do. That's her telling you she loves you, like she likes you.
Yeah.
And she'll come up to us sometimes like randomly, and she has a certain face that she does. She just like come up to us and like she gives us a look, and she just wants to get it. Like she just wants love, you know?
Yeah.
Like 100% they have love languages too.
I think it's just the attention.
Yeah, no, literally. Like, and other times she'll just lay out and she'll be good just being like right next to you and she's fine. Right. And another time she's like, okay, like it's been like an hour, so hey, you know,
like, hi, I'm still here.
Yeah. I'm like, dang, can I get some work done?
Right. When you tell her she's cute, she gets so excited.
Oh my god, her tail.
Words of affirmation is hers.
Yes. Yeah. Poor spirit, he can't hear it no more. So even if I say it's the energy that's giving off, I'll still say it because you know he'll feel it, but he doesn't hear it.
He hears the vibration.
I did the that TikTok thing where it's like gasp at your dog and see what they do. I went into it knowing for a damn fact spirit is not going to hear me. He's like, and so I did it to both of them. Sage obviously reacted and spirit didn't react, but when I did it to him, Sage came running up and jumped on me, and I'm like, okay, she did it for him. You knew you were gonna get one of them to react. And you knew exactly which one too. Yeah, I like that question though. You guys should let us know, what does healing look like for you? Yeah. And now we'll get into the main segment about our healing process right now. Just getting into today's episode. Main segment energy. We're having Hot Girl Summer. We're having Healthy Girl Summer. So, and we've been working on having a Healing Girl Summer. And if you guys are on the same wavelength as we are, please let us know, because we honestly think it's just us going through it. We're putting one foot in front of the other right now. Right. Focusing on not even hour by hour. I think it's literally like minute by minute at this point. Actually. And we may, just so you guys know, we may laugh, you know, here and there. You have to laugh. If you don't laugh, you're going to cry. So we're just going to fucking give you a trigger warning to that now. We're not psycho. We're just, that's how we cope with things. Yeah, we're just healing. Healing. Right. Healing. So from our last episode, when we talked about all of this, you know, it was, I think, in our body positivity, confidence type of episode we talked about how we're going to make conscious efforts to do things to fucking heal. I don't know. Like to try to better ourselves, change our mindset a little bit, our perspective. Right. And I think it's work on that. Some ways it works. And in other ways, it's just not. It's like some days it works and then some days it doesn't, you know? Yeah. And trying to learn new things that will work or won't work, or it's the trial and error. Yeah. But it's also annoying at the same time. And it kind of I think also goes into our being in your 20s, like being in your 20s. Yeah. And having to learn all these things at the same time, because it's very bad habits. I think it's what's hardest for me. It's unlearning the bad habits, because they've become such strong habits. Right. I don't even realize I'm doing it. Right. So then to be conscious of the bad habits is more just having to be a lot more aware, because you're like, oh, I was talking real bad to myself earlier. Like, oh shit, you know, maybe I shouldn't, like, I wouldn't talk like this to nobody else, but I'm talking like this to myself. Right. You know? It makes no sense, but we do it. Yeah. So we just wanted to kind of do an update, maybe, you know, shed some light, just full transparency, honestly. Yeah. That's really what this episode is about. So with that being said, one thing I did last week, so I was PMS, y'all, okay? And I just was not in a good mental space. So I was like down in the dumps, you know, feeling ugly, feeling shitty,
feeling all the feels. And I was like, I cannot sit here and like dwell in this because it's not going to make me feel better. And I know that. So what can I do right now in this moment? That's not going to be too much effort to where it's like overwhelming and like a huge thing. What can I do right now to make me feel better? And so I was looking online and on Pinterest. It's my favorite social media platform.
I was literally just on there last
Pinterest.
night.
I'm on there a lot.
It's
like
great. It's great.
I'm on there all day long. It's the best. If you guys don't have Pinterest, you have to. And we have a Pinterest too. There's like maybe 3 posts on there, but you know, you can follow it. So I decided to kind of do a journal prompt thing
like
that I kept seeing because I seen it more than once. So I was like, all right, that must be a sign. I should do it. Exactly. And so it said like write a letter to your younger self. It actually made me feel a lot better. I don't know if it was just like the
writing it down, or...
yeah, I don't know if it was just releasing it, like getting it off my chest and just putting pen to paper, or if it was like, I don't know, kind of like talking through it. But so for me,
I know that
like for me, I have to talk through things to like get over something.
That's what I was gonna say. I know that a lot of the times I'll let things fester in my head for a while, but then once I actually get it out, whether it's I talked about it or I'm not that big on writing things down. Not that I don't like to, I just don't typically. So if I was to get into it, that might help because it made you feel better. So I probably have to try it, but it sounds so different when you either said it or written it than how it feels or you think it is in your head.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it carries so much weight in your head, but when you put it down on paper, you're talking to your best friend about it, you're like, wow, like that wasn't that bad. Or it's not even that bad of a thought, or oh, you think like that too? Oh shit, okay, like I'm not crazy, I'm not alone, you know? So I feel like in certain things, like you can't always depend on someone to be there to listen to you, let you vent or whatever. Like sometimes you do have to do that for yourself. And I felt like I've talked to myself enough today. So let's go ahead and write it down this time.
No, for real. You know? Yeah.
And so I just wrote everything down and just like, it was kind of cool because I don't know if you've been seeing those videos on TikTok and Instagram where it's like, if little me could see me now, and they put pictures of them as a young person.
Oh yeah. Like, oh, 13-year-old me or
would
something.
Be screaming like at the person. Yeah. So I was like, oh, in a way I kind of wrote it in that way. Like, you know, blah, blah, blah. You're dealing with this now, but like, girl, I was like, girl, wait till you get blah, blah, blah. Or like, wait till this or da, da, da. Like, you're going to be happy eventually and this and that. And not saying that I am right now, but you know, it's going to happen eventually, you know?
See, that's kind of where I'm at in those things where it's like, oh, well, you know, I probably would want to be in a different place or something like that. You can still, only because in my head, I'm not in the right, like still not in the right place where I would want to be at.
Yeah.
But it's like, but I like the perspective of thinking of your younger self.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before. Me and my boyfriend had heard this. Well, I think I had heard it and I told him and he really liked it too. And then we were talking about it with you guys, was trying to shift your mindset when you're so used to talking really bad to yourself or down on yourself, is act like you're talking thoughts. Yeah, exactly. Talking to yourself as if it was the younger version of you, like the kid in you that needed to hear this, you know, gentle,
loving,
a more gentle way of speaking, the compassion that they didn't get. That speak to yourself like that. Yeah, instead of speaking to yourself as an adult, which obviously, we're adults, but there was some point where the childhood or the child in us didn't get what they were supposed to.
Right.
So speaking directly to that, and it just makes you be way more gentle with yourself because you're like, damn, if I would have just talked to myself like that, or if I would have somebody would have talked to me like that as a kid, maybe that would have helped me now, or whatever, you know?
A lot of people, that childlike version of themselves is not healed. It's still
exactly. That's the part that hasn't healed yet, you know?
So when you get to like the root of it, like you said, like you're putting it into that perspective, it goes a long way. Like it really does. If you stick to it, like you have to be very, very consistent with it, because you can do it for a day and be like, wow, you know, and then the next day you're like over there talking badly about yourself. Like you have to reset every time, reset.
Yeah. And I feel like it's made me be way more aware of the fact of how I'm talking about myself and about myself.
Yeah.
Because I think about like, oh yeah, well, let me think about it as if I'm talking to the little me.
Right.
You know, and I would never say that to a kid, let alone like myself as a kid either. But also something that made me feel good was like, the younger you would have felt safe with the you who you are now.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really like that too, because obviously there's been people around you too that you haven't felt safe around.
Right.
And to know that if I would have known me, who I am right now, if when I was a kid, I know I would have felt safe with myself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
And I did this meditation once, and it was like, you're in a forest and you see this little
sorry. I like how you switched it.
No, I swear.
It's like, you're in a forest.
Follow me on this meditation, okay? You're in a forest. You see a cabin with like smoke, or not smoke. That sounds bad. With with like
it's on fire.
Like a fireplace is going, and you can see like the
chimney.
Thank you.
Like
you see a chimney. It's working. It's doing its thing, and you're like, wow, someone must be there. Then this might sound scary, but the door opens. Okay, and I'm just talking you through it.
You're losing me a little bit.
But you're not scared. You're super happy. Okay. You're at peace. You feel calm. The door opens for you. You go in.
Like how all the scary movies start.
No. Get away from there. You feel very invited. Your heart feels warm and happy.
Okay.
You walk inside and you see a child sitting on the couch. Okay. Don't be scared. Don't look at me like that.
This sounds scary, bro.
But you recognize the child.
Okay. Remind me, I have to tell you something about Alexa after this story.
Okay. You just let someone's thing go off.
Sorry about it.
So you see a child and you recognize the child. And the child's like going like this, like, come here, come sit with me, right? Not creepy. Okay. You feel good. You feel happy.
Okay. I can't imagine that, but
give
okay.
me a chance.
I am. I really want to hear it out. I'm just, everything so far has been creeping me out.
My reassurance is not helping.
No, I want to hear. I want to hear what it is, because I know that it's gonna get to a point where it's like, oh, I know I'm gonna have that aha moment.
Yes, the aha is coming.
Yeah.
Be patient, goddamn.
Girl, it's just every detail is like.
I'm sorry, I was really not trying to make.
I'm like going more farther back in my chair.
You're like hanging up. I'm talking to myself at this point because you hung up on me. So the child tells you like, come sit with me, blah, blah. And you recognize the child. It's you at whatever age you got, messed up mentally. Okay. It's broken you sitting there. And like you
growing emotionally.
Uh-huh.
It's when it's little me that stopped growing emotionally and mentally.
Started refusing everything and stuff and everything. Okay. So you see little broken you at whatever age that may have been for you. Everyone's different. And you pretty much just sit with that person. You ask the person, you ask little you if you could give yourself a hug, if you could, like, you ask permission to, can I hold your hand? Can I give you a hug? Can I tell you something? Whatever. And then you tell your younger self what you would have wanted, like you said, what you would have wanted to hear at that specific age from whoever it is, but it's coming from you. Okay. And pretty much just give yourself that reassurance or whatever you needed in that moment. Comfort, empathy, love, support, whatever that may be. And you just sit there until you feel better. Like if you see that person, if you can visualize the little person feel better, and then you leave. I'm just kidding. That's all the abandonment issues. I got down.
She's like, that was it.
No, you invite the child to come outside with you, and then you pretty much make your way out of the forest. But you have to like visualize,
Yeah.
Don't leave.
We're like skipping off.
Yeah, don't leave yourself there. That's abandonment.
Like, okay, so you're good now, gotta go.
And then when you do have to like get out of the meditation and you do have to leave, you have to ask permission if they feel okay for you to leave. And then it sounds cheesy to most, I'm sure, but it felt good in the moment.
Is that every single thing that's supposed to make you feel better and change your mindset and change your perspective does sound cheesy.
It does.
Affirmations.
It absolutely.
Meditations, things like that. Like all of it sounds
high-fiving
cheesy.
themselves in the mirror every time they pass the mirror. They high five.
Yeah. Yeah, like
sounds cheesy.
And it makes me laugh now because it sounds cheesy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just all of it does, but I'm sure that it really, really does work.
Right.
And sometimes even finding the different ways that it doesn't feel as cheesy to you might kind of help. Like with affirmations,
meditation, I had no other choice. I had to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it healed me. It definitely didn't. But I feel like maybe little things like that.
You're like, oh my God, I'm cured.
Right. I'm like, wow, mental
depression.
Who is she?
Yeah.
We don't know her. No, but little things like that, maybe incorporating them more often, not just doing it once and being like, whoa, you know?
Yeah. And not expecting that after one time,
not expecting
you're going to feel so much better. Yeah.
Not expecting.
Because I think it's more about the consistency rather than just, okay, well, I feel bad right now. So, okay, I'm going to do it. Like, let me practice it even when I don't feel bad. That way I can, keep it going.
And maybe your younger self needed consistency. Like maybe that's what you actually needed. And you yourself can be in control of giving that to yourself.
Point. Oh my God, is this a therapy session?
It is. I think it is.
I think
summer feels very like facing a lot of things mentally.
Yeah, this is really off topic, and I just want to say this really quickly because we mentioned it in maybe 2 episodes ago, Chisme Chatter. But it was the thing about, I'm gonna say it again for you Amazon havers, Alexa. So you know how we talked about how it can make someone's voice that's been passed away, if they've heard it for 1 minute, it can copy anybody's voice.
Right.
And we're talking about how that can be creepy and all this stuff.
Oh, then, you've come around.
No.
Oh, I'm like, you've come around to the idea.
This made it even worse. Somebody posted a video that their Alexa started playing. You know the song, the Tiptoe?
I sure do.
Yeah, that one, their Alexa was playing it in the middle of the night.
No.
It started playing that by itself.
No.
And I'm like, this is exactly what I was talking about. Exactly what I was talking about.
And you know what's funny? I see.
And he followed it. I would have been out the house.
No, I wouldn't. Yeah. The device is going to be out the house for sure.
I wouldn't even have gone up to it. I really wouldn't.
I don't know. I would have to get it out though.
I would be out before. I would tell somebody else like, hey, I'm out of the house. This was happening. Someone needs to go get it. Or I'd wait for the daytime. And go with somebody.
True.
But
I've been seeing a lot just going off of that. I wonder why, because the Google Dot or whatever, I see ads all the time how you can get a free one if you just pay for the shipping. And I'm like, why are they making it free?
Yeah.
That's kind of sketch. Not the same thing, but I'm just saying like shit like that in general is just getting sketch.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But
sorry, off topic.
No, but fine. It's just a lot of things that are coming up in my mind that I'm working through the best way I know how, and dealing. Like recently I had a day where I was like just down in the dumps, and I let myself have that day. I was like, you know what, whatever. And also hormones were a factor, so
they always are usually.
It is. It's hard. We were just texting about this the other day. We're like, is this a depressive episode or am I getting my period? Like genuinely, I don't know.
Which one is it?
Yeah. They go hand in hand, unfortunately, for us. So
they're besties. I don't know why.
They're more besties toxic. Than we are.
Toxic though.
Toxic besties. We've talked about them too. I think episode 17. But
you have such a good memory.
Thank you.
How you remember the episodes and what was what? I have absolutely no idea.
Called Signs of a Toxic Friend. Check it out. iCard right here. But yeah, that was one thing that I did. I wrote a letter to myself, and I actually thought about doing it more than once and then just burning them so that I never have to think about them again. But I also feel like rereading them is kind of helpful. So I'm kind of toggling between what I should do, or if I should just make one that I can reread and then one that has like more in depth, maybe that one
that you want to like really let go.
Yeah, because I feel like that visual, we've done it before where on a full moon, a full moon or new moon? Full moon. On a full moon, we write down things that we want to release, whatever that may be. And then you burn it under the moonlight. And that visual it helps a lot, being like, oh, it's literally disintegrated, like it's gone. And it can be gone from here too if I just let it,
Yeah. No, I really like that. I think it's really healthy though to give yourself a day. I always say, I'm giving myself today a day to have my pity party. And I'll call it that. It's my pity party. I feel sad. I'm letting myself be in my emotions. I'm not going to try to fight it. It is what it is, because I know for me personally, if I fight it, it's only going to prolong for longer. And then let me get myself together. I will eventually end up getting anxiety trying to push off whatever I'm feeling, and it'll hit
trying to ignore
so hard. It'll hit so hard for me. So I've learned, give myself my day, but then only that day. If I do more than that, I'm gonna go down this cycle.
It becomes a habit. And like, if I spend one day in bed and I'm like, the next day I'm like, I could do this again. Or like, I don't feel like doing anything. I'm like, I'll just stay in bed again. Mm-hmm. That will it's horrible. Turn into a month. And I'm not even kidding. Like,
so like
a month will go by and I have nothing to show for it.
Yeah. And that's what then goes back into the cycle. If you're going to feel worse about yourself because you're like, what have I done? Why have I allowed myself to be like this for so long? Yeah. Then you put more things into your head. But I feel like a day is good. Sit in it, feel it. And then the next day, try to go in with a new perspective and just a new, you know, okay, I had my day. Mm-hmm. Now what can I do? What should I do to handle this? What can I do to figure this out? Exactly. Is this even something I need to figure out, or is it just something that I need to stop stressing myself over because I have no control over it? You know what I'm saying? Like it's also that different.
Kind of triaging things.
Yes, that's perfect.
Yeah, like triaging your bullshit in your mind, like being like, okay, this is kind of important, like something you need to get done, maybe that you've been putting off. You're like, okay, this is important. I'm gonna focus on this, and it being productive, I feel like does help me too. Not in the way of like overproductive where it's like the hustle culture and it's like work 90 million hours a week and you can't be tired and you can't rest. You like it. Rest is looked at as like
get your ass up and work. Yeah. Some people just don't want to work. Don't want to
work. So I feel like with that, you can get very down upon yourself, being like, oh wow, like I'm not doing enough or blah blah blah. And feeling guilty for it. And then, like you said, it just starts to cycle all over again and you're not going to get anywhere. So one thing that I did after having that pity day was I was like, okay, I do really good about having like agendas and being able to check things off, visual things. Again, it helps me. So I was like, I'm going to write down literally everything that I have to do. So then by the time I get through with even just getting ready, I feel like, wow, I've done something, you know?
Yeah.
So make the bed before before leaving the room, make the bed, get dressed, you know, brush your teeth, whatever you have to do in the morning. And then I would take Rex for a walk for 30 minutes. I would set the timer, listen to a podcast or music, mostly podcast. And I would just go walking around for 30 minutes. And poor boy, he gets tired. So he clocked out at like 27 minutes, but it's okay. You know, we had the goal and we almost got there. Yeah. And so we were just doing that. So literally the next day I decided, no, we're going to start doing this. So this is today was day 3 and we're doing good. We had a good time. We got to hear the birds chirping. We got to see the sunshine shining and it was nice. I really like that. It's a very healing experience to just be with myself and my dog and my thoughts and
out in nature, outdoors.
Good. Yeah.
Inside is not the best.
It's not. And there's actually these lamps that you can get. I don't know if you guys can hear Rex snoring, but he is asleep right now, snoring real loud. So if
from
that
walk,
I know. If you guys can hear that, I'm so sorry, but I'm not gonna disturb him. There's actually this lamp. I don't have one, but I've heard that a lot of people who experience seasonal depression or seasonal mood things that they buy it and it mimics kind of not exactly what the sun would be, obviously, because that's going to blind you, but in a way it gives you like a warm light and people literally will go and sit in front of the light for like 40 minutes, an hour. And scientifically it does something to boost like therapists and psychologists and things, psychiatrists, I don't know whichever one they recommend.
No. In my head, I'm like, and psychopaths.
And all of these people, they recommend people to get them if they do experience that. So
that's crazy. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, being out in the sunshine, that vitamin D, you know, it really
does make a difference for me being outdoors. Really I will say that it helps a lot. I think feeling the wind, feeling the sun, just
and like feeling the warmth on your face. Yeah, I completely agree. And also it's very grounding. If you
that's a good word for it.
Yeah, like it's really grounding. Even if you have shoes on, just knowing that like your feet are on the ground, like it's really grounding. And this might sound weird, but I've also been suggested by someone who does have a PhD that you can, or you should, if you feel like that, you should go outside into grass and like put your feet in the grass. It sounds really
like
weird.
Barefoot.
like barefoot, yeah,
yeah,
and put your feet in the grass or the dirt or soil, whatever it is. And I've never done it for that reason, like during a mental health problem,
mm-hmm.
whatever. But I could see how it would work.
Yeah.
Or like do something for you, you know?
Just being one with the earth and the vibrations and all that stuff. Exactly. Whether you believe in it or not, like it's literal facts that the earth has vibration, we have vibrations.
Yeah, we're all energy.
Yeah, so I can see it. I can definitely see how that would work. I'd be down to try it. I just like being outside. I like at the beach or something. I feel like a beach is such a perfect spot for grounding, because when you're sitting in the sand, you have the ocean in front of you, and then you always get to see like these really pretty skies, and that's one of my favorite things to do, is see the sky and just clouds and colors and all that stuff. So I feel like the beach is one of those perfect spots to do that, or a really open field, like just sitting in the grass, and it's so peaceful.
I think the ocean is, or the beach and the ocean as well, because of the moon and the like the water.
You get everything. Yeah. You get everything. All of the pretty much all the elements, you know?
Exactly. I love it too. I think that's why we feel very drawn to the beach. Yeah. Even though we don't get to go as much as we would want to, we both love the beach, like, or the ocean, and just have so much respect for it. I think that's probably why.
Yeah. And one of the things that I always used to say this, and I never really realized really what it meant, but I always thought that like when I would go to the beach or go to like this really pretty view, it just would help make me feel small. Yeah. And in retrospect, it's more because whatever I feel like I'm going through, that I feel like there's this huge pressing issue, when I see these things and ground myself with nature, it literally brings me back into perspective of like, dude, like everything's fine. It's gonna be fine. Like take it, just flow with it, do with it what you will, because if you can't control it, just roll with it, you know?
And I think that there's a lot to say about when you're feeling very depressed or down. Obviously, we're not doctors, but when you do feel like that, I feel like reverting back to gratitude is like a huge thing. Like if you can just be grateful for the sun outside, like you said, being in nature, the grass, the birds, whatever, like simplify it, you know? Yeah. And you can list 1,000 things that you're grateful for in this moment, no matter what you're going through. And I did that the next day too. After that, when I had made that list, the next day after that, on my list, I put write down 10 things that you're grateful for. And then today was to review it, because that was yesterday. So I wrote them yesterday, and then today was to read it before I went on my walk. So I like kind of refreshed it. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll do another check-in at the end of the summer and see how it feels. But I'm going to try my best to keep up.
Be consistent with it. And yeah.
Consistent, and maybe it's going to change my life. I don't know. But
breaking the bad habits and making better habits.
Charge. You know what I mean?
You're taking charge?
Yeah, like it feels good. Like if I'm taking charge of it, you know? So it feels good.
No, I think that's really good. I think it's really important. It's hard breaking those habits, but it's important to create besides just breaking the habit, but you're creating a better habit, something that's going to help you in the long run.
Like, and it's trying to supplement.
Exactly. It's like being consistent is kind of like you said, if you didn't have that as a kid, consistency is what makes it so hard, because it's like, oh, I know this feels good and it's working, but then you have like one day where you don't do it, and it continues this spiral of like, okay, well, I'm just not gonna do it anymore. Right. You know? And I think that's definitely what I'm trying to work on also, is being very consistent with being aware of how I'm talking to myself, being aware of when I'm being negative. And it's just, if I need a day, I need a day, but the next day, okay, I'm bounced back, like, you know, and not completely, like I have this completely new mindset, but I'm not going to allow myself to sit in it anymore. Exactly. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I had seen this thing. It's kind of similar to what we're talking about. And it was about never breaking a promise to yourself, and how we can kind of become someone that we're not proud of because we break promises to ourselves. Like, for example, if you try and if you don't work out at all, I don't know why I always use this example. It's just for me. If you don't work out at all, and then one day you're like, wow, I should really work out. I'm going to promise myself that I'm going to work out 7 days a week. And then you break that promise to yourself, you lose more and more trust in yourself. Yeah. And it's a big thing. Like, people don't think about that. I didn't think about that until I seen the video, and I was like, damn, like that's true.
I've broken, now you saying it and me thinking back, I've broken a lot of promises, and you lose with myself more and more since I was little. And I think that's part of, we mentioned this earlier, I don't think on camera, or in recording,
Yeah.
But things that we regretted not doing in high school and things like that. Yeah. I should have kept up with it. I should have stuck to something, one thing, you know?
Like, we genuinely get one life. Why are we doing this to ourselves?
Yeah. But really, and just I hate being so self-conscious about doing new things or stuff like that. And I think that's a lot of what also holds me back most of the time.
Yeah.
And then also bringing in that anxiety factor of when I go to do new things, then my anxiety wants to kick in and be like, hey girl, like you thought you wanted to try something new? Yeah. No, but breaking that is also something that's been a very big thing for me this summer, is forcing myself to commit to do things. And
you've been doing it.
I signed up for a dance class. I signed up for one.
Fucking killing it, bro.
Next Wednesday. So our next podcast after this one, I'll give an update on like how it went.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
I'm very nervous, but excited.
You don't have to tell me which one you did, but like what type of dance? Was it the hip hop one or was it the one?
It's a hip hop one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, it's beginner, intermediate, I think. I've never gone to this girl before. I've only ever gone to one.
Yeah.
So, and that was
a different.
It wasn't heels, but she said it's typically is in heels. But that specific day, we just got super lucky that it wasn't in heels and it wasn't being recorded.
Right.
So we just got very lucky. This one, I'm not sure that that's going to be the case, but it's not heels.
Yeah.
But yeah, just making myself do things that I wouldn't normally, but I know that I would enjoy it.
Right.
Because
she dances all the time on her own time. So that's why it's like such
it's my self-love language. I don't know why it makes me nervous to go and do it somewhere where other people
and you're good at dancing. You're good at dancing.
Stop it.
I've seen you bust a move once or twice.
We were getting down to just dance. You know,
yeah, like girl, you got rhythm. I know from the outside looking in, I obviously don't know how you feel in your own body. I will never be able to know that. But from the outside looking in, you impressed me, bro. You fucking impressed me. No, seriously.
I was telling you the story and you're like, oh my God, you have to mention it. And so it made me
I'm so excited.
So I was having a day. I was having my pity party. I was just feeling really low about myself, just not feeling good at all.
Yeah.
And I was telling my boyfriend and I was like, I don't know why, but I just don't feel good today. I don't feel good. I'm like, why are you being so hard on yourself? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just having a day.
If I knew why, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah. And so I had that day. And then literally that night I had this dream, and I've been having very vivid dreams lately, but
she's not pregnant, guys.
No, I'm not very much negative. But I had this dream and there was a lot going on, but essentially it was like there was a runway fashion show type thing happening, and we were in a group, and a girl, like two of the girls in our group were going to do it, and they had already it was planned that they were going to go do this. And the girl running it was Alexa Demi, and to me, she just exudes confidence.
Yeah,
like
she embodies it, girl.
Yes, main character energy.
Absolutely.
Like without even trying.
Right.
So she was the one running it, and seeing like them walking off out in the dream, in my head, I was like, I could fucking do that. So I decided to start walking with them, and I'm walking with them, and I'm just like the runway. Oh, I got it. You know, let me show you, I can do this. And she sees me and she's like, all right, girl, go ahead. So then I get put in the front of all of the people that are going up and down this runway. And I just had no fear. I had no anxiety. I just did the damn thing. And I was like, I said, I want to do it. So I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I did it. And the next day when I was thinking about that dream, and I was like, damn, I was having a pity party. And that night, my own head was telling me like, stop tripping off like little things so much. Stop overthinking.
Yeah.
Just like, you got it. Just do it. Have confidence and get it done. I was happy in the sense that I committed, because another thing, like you said, which is why, you know, I really like that you brought it up, because it's not something I thought of before, but consistency has been something that was nothing was ever consistent. You know what I'm saying? So I will back out of a lot of things, and my anxiety, I'll be like, no, like I can't do it. I don't want to do it.
Right.
And this was something that I just felt proud of the fact that I committed to it.
Yeah.
I was like, I showed up, I did it. I, you know, showed
you
face.
Felt good.
All of that. it felt good, you know, and I'm like, okay, that's just what I need to do. If I need to do that every single time before I'm about to go do something, okay, I'll do it.
Exactly.
You know,
we'll do it together. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, no, for real.
Like if we're about to go out and be like, let's do runway walks, boom, like
period.
Get ourselves to feel just a slightest bit more confidence than what we're feeling, letting the nerves hit us, you know?
And I think it's nice too, having a best friend that is so relatable, and like we can be completely transparent with each other, whether it be good or bad, you know? So if we know like you're just in your head a little bit about the outfit or where we're going or whatever it is, we can be like, girl, like you look good. Like, I don't know what you're complaining about, you know, like you look good. And that hyping up, like everybody needs a compliment here and there, you know? Never hurt. It never hurt nobody.
Except and then it's
crazy, like, but you know,
being able to feel it. Yeah. And like hearing it, but then being able to really
embody it, like empower it. Yeah. And that's 100%. Like, again, breaking a promise to yourself.
Yeah.
So it like full circle.
And that feels worse almost.
Yeah.
You know, I feel so guilty, so ashamed. Like, why? It might have not even been that bad. And it wasn't that bad, you know? Right. And it's just in your head, it builds up to so much more.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed also with myself, and a lot of the times when I tend to get anxiety, is it's usually just the beginning part. Like it's the initial walking in and not knowing what to expect. But then once I get the vibe, then it's better, and I can kind of adjust myself and adjust, you know.
You can find a comfort zone within it. It's just getting past it.
But it's that initial part that I think freaks me out the most.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and so I then just kind of reassuring myself, like, just get past this beginning part. Just the first step. That's it. And then you're going to be fine. It's going to be okay.
And the more you do it, the more experience you'll have, you know, even if it goes bad. Like, let's say you went to the barbecue and it was bad. You're like, okay, this was bad, but it can only get better from here. And also you have that experience from the previous one to be like, okay, what could I have done differently this time to make myself feel better with being uncomfortable, you know?
Exactly. And just taking everything as a learning experience. Like if it was a fail, quote unquote, or whatever, like it's, you learn from it. Okay. So this, like you said, this is what I can do next time. Or, okay, let me just figure out a way that this didn't work, but maybe this will work next time.
Yeah. So you know? There's this quote that's used in therapy also. And it's kind of a way, like you're saying, to kind of, I don't know, rationalize things. I don't know. Or like prepare yourself, I guess. And it's like saying, you know, with anxiety, like we think of the worst outcome.
Yeah.
And that's what we're expecting, you know? So it's like, okay, so what if the worst happens? Then what? What are you going to do then? Okay.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, then what? So it's, I think the quote says, what does it say? Like, if that, then no. I'll think of it and I'll put it on the screen, but I forgot what it is exactly. But it's pretty much just saying like, okay, and if that does happen, then what?
Yeah. And then also some being like, okay, you thought about, clearly you've thought about everything that could go wrong. Yeah. Well, now think about, what if something goes right? What if you get in contact with somebody that wants to work with you?
Yeah.
What about if, you know, you always want to focus on the negative. And we've said this before, there's like literally a clip somewhere. If you think about, if you focus on the negative, all you're going to see is the negative.
Yeah.
But switch it. And so think about the positive possible outcomes.
Right.
Because you don't know that it's only going to be a negative experience.
Yeah. And you'll surprise yourself.
Make it that way. Yeah.
I think maybe just not even having expectations is also kind of nice too. Because
that would be great.
No, honestly, because I'm just thinking about it right now. Like I've never really thought about that before, but I do. Even let's say something's going to happen in 3 weeks. I'm already thinking like, oh shit, like, well, what if so-and-so goes and I have to talk to so-and-so, or what if, you know, it's awkward, or
I will literally play out the most outlandish situations in my head and think about, this is how I'm going to react if this happens. This is what I'm going to do if this happens. That's not 99% not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And that's not how I'm going to react in the moment either.
Yeah.
So why am I wasting time?
It's so bad. It's just overthinking.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a vicious cycle.
That's what it comes down to. The overthinking, too much in your head, being just, like you said, expecting the worst.
This girl was on a podcast and she was talking about, because she's like an assistant to a really like big, like, you know, she's like a assistant to a really big guy. He does a lot of stuff, whatever. It's hard to explain really what he does because he does so many different things. But multi-million-dollar like business company, all this kind of stuff. And so she's kind of talking about how she does it and what mindset she uses. And the mindset she says is kind of just like a fuck it mentality.
Yeah.
Like she's like, if I think about it too much, I'm gonna not want to do it. I'm gonna get freaked out. She goes, I literally just tell myself, fuck it, just do it.
We used to back in high school when we wanted to ditch. All right, guys, we're having some technical issues today. I don't know what the hell is happening. I'm so sorry if you can notice the technical issues. We're gonna try. Yeah, we're trying so hard. So we're not gonna get into what we were going to get into as a second part to this, but we will do that in a couple weeks. So just
we're just gonna split it up now.
Yeah, and we'll give it its time. So that's totally fine.
Really good topics though, so look forward to it because there's a lot we can go on about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we won't say like what it is, so stay tuned. Couple weeks, you'll be excited. We're just gonna get into the wisdom of the week this week, and this one literally just tops off everything we've been talking about, I think, perfectly, you know?
Yeah.
So wisdom of the week this week says, you've done enough watering. It's time to be the garden.
We are the garden. You are the garden.
Absolutely.
Still water it though, don't forget, but the garden.
But water your own grass, you know?
Yeah. If you have extra, then sprinkle some for your loved ones, but don't give what you need for other people, because then you won't have nothing for yourself.
Exactly. And you've done enough overthinking and over contemplating. You've done enough negative self-talk. Be the garden now. You've done enough of that. Like, you don't need that to carry it. None of it. Yes. Grow. Thrive. Exactly. We're just thriving over here. We're gonna be thriving. We're on our way. We are going to get there.
But we hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully it wasn't too hard to watch or listen to, because I know we had some technical difficulties, but hopefully you're able to get the gist. And if you relate, let us know some things that you guys are trying that are working for you in your healing process, and let us know.
And if you need any help or you guys need a vent about anything that you're healing from, please let us know. We're open ears, open DMs for you guys. If you need anything, we'd love to, you know, shed some light, bring some positivity. We're not Debbie Downers when we talk to people. So when we do talk to someone, like, we'll do our best. If we have advice, we'll give it. If not, you can just count on us being a cool friend to
just to listen to. Yeah. We'll listen to you.
Absolutely. So we love you guys so much. Thank you again to our Hungarian listeners. Let all your friends and family, your dogs, everybody know.
Everybody.
Yes.
We hope you have a great week or a great start or end to your week. And stay safe out there, guys.
Stay safe. Stay tuned for next week's episode.
Bye.